Thursday night football is not good. In fact, Thursday night football is bad. Really bad. Consistently bad. Saying something sucks is not a take, you know this. But Thursday night football sucks. Thursday night football is a trap. Not a trap game for the players, a full-blown trap door for everybody involved. Like last week's game, Tampa Bay, Carolina. That was rough. Truly rough. But then you get to Friday, right? And I bet you're a lot like me. You have a terrible game on Thursday night, but you wake up on Friday, you start to recover. You've got college games on Saturday. You've got a full slate of the NFL on Sunday. Then you've got a Monday night game. And then what happens? There's no Tuesday game. There's no Wednesday game. By the time Thursday rolls around, you've gone so long without football, you actually convince yourself that Thursday night football is a good thing. By then, you're jonesing so hard, you've already forgotten about the tragedy that happened the week before. You haven't had any actual football in a few days. Some of you haven't actually gotten down in a few days. So you're gearing up for the weekend, and you conveniently forget how crappy Thursday nights are. And you convince yourself, not only is it not one of the worst things ever, it's actually one of the best. Like, hell yeah, free football. Bring it. Freaking Christmas in September. I can't believe how lucky I am. I've got bonus football Thursday night. Let's get it. Oh, and by the way, it's a pretty nice matchup, right? Tennessee, Jacksonville, the Titans. They're actually good. They knocked America's team the hell out in the opener. The Jags have a lot of drama surrounding them. This is going to be a good game. This is going to be a blast. And then like that, you're hooked all over again. You've already forgotten how much you hate Thursday nights. You have forgotten completely how crappy Thursday night football is. You're locked, you're loaded, you're ready. You've forgotten until they kick. And then you're locked, all right? You're locked into a game that is totally unwatchable. Virtually everything about that game is brutal. And is it just me, or does it rain every Thursday night? And only where they play that game. Nowhere else in the country, but only where they play the Thursday night game. The conditions are always a mess. The game is always even worse than the elements. And that's what happened last night. Thursday night football is so bad, even Gardner Minshew could not save it. Hey, don't get me wrong. He tried his ass off. Beowulf just needs to show up at the stadium, and then magic is going to happen. Just dropping it right in there. 13 of 18, 125, 2 TDs in the first half, and he becomes the first rookie in Jags history to pass for at least 600 yards in his first 3 weeks. And Beowulf Minshew was not the only Minshew trying to keep the entire nation entertained last night. His dad, Flint, was putting on a show of his own. A gun show. Flint Minshew is amazing. I want a Flint cam that just stays locked in on this guy at all times. Give me picture in picture. Let's see this guy living and dying with every single play, because it is electric. He is electric. That family is electric. And here we go again. Like I'm practically talking myself into loving Thursday night football all over again. I'm thinking about Beowulf and Flint. I'm thinking about Duval. I'm thinking about Saxonville. And I'm thinking about my main man, my guy, Calais Campbell, abusing opposing QBs. And suddenly, I'm feeling it all over again. It's good. It's going to be a good night. And then I remember Tennessee's offense. Then I remember Tennessee's Matador offensive line. Then I remember all the flags. Marcus Mariota completed more than half his passes for more than 300 yards. And if that's not a case of stats being deceiving, I don't know what is, because that was not an efficient or good-looking offense at all. He was pressured 18 times by a D-line that didn't get any pressure on anybody for 2 weeks. Pressured 18 times, sacked 9, and the offense had one penalty after another. They were such a mess that on one play, my man got sacked by his own teammate. I mean, there are offenses that don't fire, and then there's that. But they weren't done. They had a 10-play drive that covered 22 yards and ended in a punt. I didn't even know that was possible. But then they did it again. An 11-play drive that covered 28 yards and ended in a punt. just to prove that that one horrible drive was not a fluke. It was so bad that at one point, Titans backup Ryan Tannehill reached for his helmet because that's what that game needed, Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill throwing on his helmet to potentially enter the game and hit a struggling offense with the paddles might be the most Thursday night thing ever. What the hell happened to the Titans last night? Like, I'm old enough to remember when they beat Cleveland in Cleveland by 30. That was the season opener. That was 12 days ago. And there they were last night, literally tripping all over themselves on Thursday Night Football. That's what TNF does to you. It's like a vortex where good teams and good players seem to forget how to play football. Where good teams and good players look like they've never played football. Where good coaches look like they've never even seen the game. That's Thursday night. It doesn't matter who you put out there. It's going to be bad. You can put out the 62 Packers, make them play the 85 Bears. If they're playing on Thursday night, it's going to be raining, there's going to be penalties, it's going to be horrible, and it's going to be unwatchable. And this is no one-off now. This is a pattern which repeats itself week after week after week. And every single week I promise myself I will never do it again. Every single week I tell myself, always remember, never forget. Yeah, well, this time I'm not going to forget. I'll remember that horrific feeling, that horrific night. You know what it's like? It's like drinking. It's like drinking. You go on a crazy bender. You wake up the next morning. You're hung terribly. You swear you will never, ever drink again until a few days later when you feel great and you forget how horrible it was and you're slamming shots. Happens to us all. Except that's not what this is. I'm not getting chumped. I'm not going back. Ever. For any reason. Punk me once, shame on you. Punk me hundreds of times every Thursday, shame on me. And I'm no sucker. This is a sucker-free zone. And I just got my Thursday nights back, and it feels good.